Hi everybody, it's Wake here. It's been a while, but I wanted to start doing more videos, specifically videos on gaming related stuff and board games. I love board games, although I haven't been able to play a lot. There's a lot of things I'm interested in, especially in war games, and today I wanted to do an unboxing video for a new game I just got. It's called Donnerschlag by Vuca Simulations. Now, I hadn't seen a lot about this online. I think there's only another one unboxing video or something like that on YouTube, and this game looks really cool. So after watching a review and kind of looking at their website, I immediately went and bought the thing because it just looked really cool, especially for a war game. Really got me interested in it. It's basically a what-if scenario on Operation. Well, I don't think it's called. I can't remember the name of the operation, but because Donnerschlag means it's not the name of the operation in German, but it's basically the breakthrough attempt by the Germans in order to try and get the German army out of Stalingrad, and it's really cool because of a lot of things that maybe people wouldn't take for granted in the wargaming community, which is that it seems really easy to play. They have their own sort of complexity at 3, and the map is gorgeous. I mean, I'm not a big hex guy. It's one of the reasons why I'm not hugely into war games as much as I could be, because I like history and I like war games, but the hex is just something about them, it doesn't appeal to me. But this game does the best I've ever. I mean, the map on this is beautiful, and the combat and everything involved with it seems easy enough for someone who doesn't want to spend 18 hours just learning the game and then trying to teach it to someone else. I mean, I'm just kind of a moron, so I like things that are easy to learn and then easy to play ultimately. Even though you look at something like Empire of the Sun, which looks like one of my favorite games ever, but I still haven't played it. But anyway, this is we're gonna just unbox here and see what's in it. This is the rule book, and again, this stuff. I mean, they have really good graphic design, which seems like kind of a shallow thing to point out. You know, ultimately, is the game good? And that is important. But something about just having a really nice looking game, I think, is important to me. Now, I can go through the rule book here from start to finish. This is another thing I really liked about it, is that I don't think this whole thing isn't rules. I'm trying to find where the rules end here. So I think the rules are only 10 pages. And you can just see, I mean, they did a really good job with the layout. Sometimes it's really hard to, at least for me, to read these rules and not get lost in them. And then they have some historical notes and some background notes. And this rule book is available for free on their website, and I've gone through a lot of it already. And it's really good stuff. If you're interested about the game, I really recommend you go to their website. Number one, check out their other games because they have some really cool looking stuff. And number two, you can just get the book and the PDF for the rule book and read it yourself and see if it's something you're interested in. Again, it's only 10 pages, so it's like not that hard to get into. And now the game, it looks like there's 3 decks here of cards. And the cards are like the activation system in the game relies on cards, which I personally like a lot. And they even have, well, I'll show you real quick. Basically, they're like another way of adding historical flavor and interest into the combat. And also like historical events, is they have specific deck of cards, which is going to be somewhat hard for me to open these with one hand. Apologies. They have a deck of cards for general events and tactical events. And so in the game you can play these, and it sort of adds certain elements to combat and the gameplay. And it's another way of introducing events into the game. And I personally like that a lot. if you're not a big like card activation guy or adding elements of cards to the game, you might not. But here, right here is the really, I mean, this thing is just gorgeous looking. We're gonna, before we get a look at the counters, I just want to show everybody this map, because this map is really what sold me the game. Just how gorgeous it is. Okay, nice and big too. And it's nice mounted chipboard. So, it's actually upside down. Let me turn around real quick. Not that it matters, but you're always going to have somebody on the wrong end. But I mean, they spent a lot of time on this map, and you can tell. You know what I mean? There are some Eastern Front games which I really want to get and seem really appealing to me, but then I just looked at the map and I'm totally uninspired. You know, a good example of this is Stalingrad 42. You know, the game seems appealing to me. Something about Fall Blau is you know, getting a big operational level view of it, and it seems really cool. But then I just look at the map and I go, ah, man, it doesn't look like anything to me. It just looks like one of those bland strategic hex maps, and it doesn't inspire me at all. Where this one, something about the beauty in this really caught my eye. You know, it's like you get a better sense of somebody just on the field. You can tell, especially it's because it's a snow map. I mean, maybe that's part of the reason that I like it so much, is you see very few sort of seasonal war game maps, and they've done a really good job with this. I mean, you could tell, you know, they didn't just, the topography of the map isn't just lines. They didn't just use lines for the topography of the map. They have a variable, you could tell which side of the hill you're facing by how dark the layout of the hill is. So you could tell that there's a hill crest right here, and it's not just lines in the topography of the map. You know, just little things like that I really appreciate about this. And I think they did an awesome job. And I just found Vuca Simulations, but I'm really interested in the rest of their games. So, and this is, after unpacking this and looking at these components for myself, I think doubly so. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the counters here. Let me get them out. Sorry about all the camera work. I don't have a tripod or anything, so it's just freehand. It's upside down. So this is some of the counters. Now, there is one criticism of these counters, which I wanted to point out. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. I even prefer, they have two types of counters for armored battalions. And one is this kind of stylized 3D picture of a tank. And the other, where is it? The other version of this they have are these right here, which is sort of the normal counters. I'm not, these aren't bad. I don't dislike those. But for some reason, these are more appealing to me. So I think those are really cool. Now, but the one criticism other people had, and I agreed with, is that if you're colorblind, you're going to have a little, this is going to be a little annoying to play this game, because the activations go by. You see on each of these chits, there's a sort of a band, a colored band that goes through the middle, and they have like yellow and sort of a purplish blue here, orange. There's a couple of the green. There's a couple other colors, but if you have trouble seeing those or distinguishing between them, you're going to have a little bit of an issue. And for the Germans, it's just the top color there. You're going to have a little bit of an issue playing the game. So you'd have to make like a note or something about which items. And then for my own personal criticism, I dislike it when they don't have, there's just blank backgrounds on counters. Something about it, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna go, maybe it's much more expensive to not make them blank. I don't know the ins and outs specifically, but it makes sense to me that if you're going to do counter sheets and you don't have anything to put on the back, just put like a symbol, you put the German, you know, the symbol or something to make it not blank. It just looks weird to me. But that's just a small criticism. Aside from that, these all look gorgeous. And you get 2 counter sheets, I believe, here. So this is everything. All right. And then you get a couple different player aid cards. See, these are cool. I had noticed the other review they didn't show the backs of these, but that's pretty cool. See, they went the extra mile. They could have just left this, since the back is not any information. They could have left it blank, but they added a topographic map, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the overarching area or what, but it looks really nice. But then this is the axis setup display. And again, I think if you haven't played a lot of war games or board games, I think this is a really good game to start out on, because it just looks like, as someone who has a trouble learning these really long war games, I actually got through most of this, and it seems pretty easy and fun to play and fast, and it's just something I'm looking forward to play with. I'm going to have my dad play with me and maybe get some videos of that. So that's just sequence of play. And then you got a player aid. And look at the, I mean, again, you could just tell they took their time on the art, and for me, it's very appreciated, and I like it a lot, and it makes me want to play this game more. And then you even get 2 player aids, so 1 for each player, as well as the sequence of play. And these are real thick cardboard stock, these player aids. All of the aid sheets are actually about the same thickness as the counter sheets, as you can see. So let me just get a shot of everything in here, if I can. So you get the 3 decks of cards, which are I believe the Soviet, German activations, and then you get like the combat event cards. And those are based on, I think, German and Soviet. You get 2 dice, red and black. You get your rule book. You get, I think, 4 player aid, sequence of play, setup boards type deal. And you get 2 counter sheets, and then you get your map. Alright, and everything is really, really nice. And I think this, if I recall correctly, I think it goes for 73 USD on their website. And then, of course, you do shipping, but whatever that is in your currency. But it's just really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to getting this down on the table and playing with my dad. I'm going to try and do that this week. But it's really cool, and it makes me want to look into their other games, which I have. I've actually bought, in the same pack, I bought Operation Theseus. But that's a more complicated game, it looks like. So that's going to take a little bit more in depth to learn. This one I feel like I can teach my dad in an afternoon, and we can play a game all in one go. So really looking forward to this. As far as just component quality and unboxing, this is like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me. So just really cool. Looking Vuca Simulations and Donnerschlag. Escape from Stalingrad. Awesome looking game. Thanks, guys.